Hey, Scotchy Bourbon Boys fans, this is Alan Bishop, Indiana's alchemist of the Black Forest. So I'm tuning in here today to tell you all about the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute channel on YouTube. If you're at all interested in the art of distilling, whether it be home distilling or professional distilling, and the intense geekery that goes into that process, then check out the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube. I promise you're going to learn something you didn't know before about the arts.
This is Alan Bishop, head alchemist at Spirits of French Lick. Be on the lookout for a brand new bottled and bond Solomon Scott rye whiskey. Made from a mash composed of 65% rye, 35% corn, and 5% victory malt. This 5-year-old 100 proof rye whiskey is a throwback to early 1800s style rye whiskeys of the Ohio Valley. Named after the legendary Daisy Spring Mill distillery owner turned moonshiner Solomon Scott of Paoli, Indiana. Remember, drink responsibly and never drink and drive.
Sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raising some hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
All right.
Boom!
Yeah. Hey, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. I'm Whisky. This is
Tiny. we flipped that one around real quick. Anyways, we are on our last tasting of the night. We usually do these in rapid tasting succession.
Yeah, otherwise we would pass out. We would, yeah.
We could be, but at the same time, what we're doing right now is Old Carter.
This is March 22. This is the most recent batch. 23, I'm sorry. This is the end of the year 22 batch that's now being sold now.
Yes, and you picked this up where?
That was in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Yep, you picked it up out of Maryland. You saw it, called me up and said, and you picked it up, and we're rapid tasting this. And it is a rigged rapid tasting because, honestly, this is my favorite brand at the moment. It's right. Booker's and Old Carter are the two things that I really love. And it's a cask strength, and Whiskey's going to give you some info on this baby.
So, interestingly enough, the folks at Old Carter actually are winery people. They have a winery out in California.
Well, they were going around buying barrels and of whiskey for a long time.
And they decided to get into the bourbon business. Mm-hmm. And so they started this Old Carter label. This is...
if you really want to give a good history, they were involved with Kentucky Owl and Dixon Deadman and getting that up and running, and then started Old Carter.
So this is Old Carter now has a tasting room in Louisville.
Yes.
And this is actually bottled in Louisville, I think, at their facilities.
What was really cool is Spanky, one of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, was down when we did our barrel pick at the Spirit of French Lick to pick it up. And he went over to Old Carter's tasting room and it was closed. But there was a woman out there getting some fresh air. And he started talking to her, and before you knew it, it was Sherry Carter that he was talking to.
Oh, nice.
So kind of a cool experience right there, just going there when they're closed and getting to talk to the person who is fantastic at blending.
And this, one interesting thing about Old Carter is every batch has its own tasting notes. It's very unique from one another. These are what I would call ultra small batches. They typically don't run a ton of bottles. For the distribution that they have.
We were talking about it last night, and it's about 10 to 12, 13 barrels, depending on what the batch is.
So, for instance, this is batch 3PLDC. This is bottle number 25 of 1,068.
Right.
And it is bottled at 117 proof.
There you go.
So, this was a fresh crack. So,
you showered?
Yeah.
That's why your crack's fresh?
It is, yeah.
Because that's the only fresh crack that...
Did you feel that coming right out of there?
Yeah, I smelled that crack.
Yeah. There you go. So, I'll let Tiny Pappy have the honors as he fills his glass to the top of the rim. I'm looking forward to capping this evening off with just a delightful bourbon. So
yeah,
I got the cork.
I'll put her back up there. All right, so we're about to do on our rapid tasting. So it's simple. We give 25 points per category of 4 categories of nose, body, taste, and finish. Total scores are added up, divided by 2.
Wow. These legs are so thick, it is stupid.
Yeah, this is at 117 proof. This is barrel proof. Now, their batches, Sherry basically stays up at night and changes the batches in the middle of the night. I mean, it's just insane what she puts forward to make these batches. And Old Carter was our podcast last night with Super Nash, so I know a little. That's where a lot of the information's coming from because
nice.
Did a little bit of research on that one.
I almost joined their tasting room, but it wasn't quite.
Oh, this is an interesting nose.
So I will say this: legs are super thick. It's got a great amber color. So there's no age statement on this. Old Carter will eventually tell you what's in it. If sometimes you got to go to their website, but
I'm getting pepper. Ooh, it's very peppery. Get a little bit of smokiness and caramel at the top.
Oh, there it is.
Maybe some... Ooh, there was the caramel.
Yeah, I'm getting caramel.
This has got to breathe. I mean, when you're dealing with a...
Yeah, it's starting to open up as it sits.
Yeah. There it is. The pepper's going in the...
Well, and that's, like I said, fresh crack.
Milk duds.
Milk duds. Man.
Total milk duds. Yeah.
I could see a little cocoa. I don't think it's very strong for me, but I could see it. Definitely some caramel.
Yeah, but after we drink this... and
maybe a little graham,
back,
so a little graham cracker for me.
Okay. After all those ryes. Oh.
It's nice. That's nice.
Well, we're back to bourbon. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I love bourbon. Ryes are like having an
Yeah, I don't care for Irish.
In my opinion, ryes are like the vegetable platter that comes on the tray before your dinner. Then you have dinner, and then bourbon's the dessert.
Yeah, for me, ryes are like the vegetable tray that your aunt brings where the celery's all dried out.
I'm just trying to pull radish out of one of them. That's my goal.
I'll bring you back coffee whiskey again. Oh man, the longer this sits, just the better that nose gets.
Picks up a little bit of oak too on that one.
See, the caramel's just opening up so much for me.
Caramel and cherry. So it's caramel oak,
man, that
like
finish.
the woodish oak tannin. All right.
That finish is awesome.
Yeah, I would have to say long.
And it just slides. It slides all the way down your throat. It's so good.
All right, let's go.
You want to pour the rest of yours in my glass again?
No. After this is done, I'm going to let you taste 9.
Nice.
Because that was good.
That's been the highest rated batch I think they've ever made.
I was talking with the guy. He wasn't sure about 9, but 9 was insane.
Okay, so I'm going first, or you're going first?
You go first.
So nose. I'm going to give this nose a 21. I like the nose. I like the caramels.
Ooh, the nose. Go one more time. Sniff it one more time.
I will say this: the longer this sits, the better.
I'm just getting. I just got the nose is with caramel, but I got toasted. A toasted, like caramel. Like if you took caramel and spread it on toast with butter. There was a toasted.
Technically, that would be toffee.
Yeah. I just also.
You know what? I can see. I
just got
you know
the
what?
bread, the toasted bread smell.
So at the top of the glass, I'm getting the butter.
Yeah.
The top of the glass. It
the
literally.
Nose,
it
the nose for
like,
me was a 19, but I just smelled it again and it just went to a 23. The nose is fantastic. It was hard to get out.
How the hell can you get butter all of a sudden? I mean, but it's butter to me.
With toast, butter, and caramel. I mean, you know how you make the cinnamon, cinnamon toast, but just imagine making caramel toast where you
maybe we
butter.
should edit 5 minutes and then come back and see what the smells like.
Well, that would, if we do that, no, we're just going to go off of this. So I'm going 23 on the nose. You going 21 still, or did you get that butter and it raise it a little bit?
No, I got the butter, but I just it's still a 21.
All right,
I mean,
let's taste it now that it's been.
God, that is really good. Oh, you know what?
She knows what she's doing. Liquid.
Little bit of ethanol for me.
Well, there is definitely on the now as far as the body's probably the weakest thing because this is for 117 proof. It's smooth. It's and it's
not filling the whole mouth.
It's silky. Right,
that's a great word for it. It's
silky. It's.
It just wants to slide down to the. I mean, it just wants to go.
And I think there's something to say when you put out 117 proof and you can make it silky, smooth, and not make it so.
Nobody's gonna get.
Everybody's not burning their taste buds off.
Nobody's gonna make the bourbon face, right? I don't think anybody's making the bourbon face at this. You know what I'm talking about, right?
So the drinkability in there.
That's never going to happen here.
So what would you say? Let's go body. I'm going to do a 19 on the body.
Yeah, I think I'm a 17 on the body. It's a little light for me.
So what are you on the taste?
I love this taste.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to go 23. This is I get just the ever lightest hint of vanilla. It's just this great caramel. It's actually more butterscotch for me.
Yeah, I do, but it's like a butterscotch toffee mix.
Yeah,
and it's like liquid. You want to say caramel, then you're like maybe toffee. Nope, it's not toffee. It's butterscotch. It's all of them.
Yeah,
it's really good. So just 23, I would concur with 23.
23 for me.
Now for the finish is...
So no hug, not for me.
I'm getting a hug.
Yeah, I don't get a hug.
I'm like hugged. I'm warm inside.
Oh, Jeff, I need a hug.
Drink it. I drink my whole thing. Maybe you get a hug if you take a bigger gulp. There you go.
Nope, it's all just finished. No.
That's weird. Anyways.
No hug for me. It's the story of my life. I married a cold woman.
Oh, you just shouldn't go there. All right. So, what are you going to give it on the finish?
I absolutely love this finish. And I'll tell you what I love about it. This is like double sugared kettle corn for me. Just the flavors. It's like when you're at the fair and that dude's got that big pot that you're sure nobody's cleaned in like 16 years. And he is just tossing that corn with all that syrup and everything. All those smells that you get, kind of like the heat. There's a little bit of popcorn burning. So you get that smokiness, and you got all that sugary stuff that's going into caramel. This is liquid kettle corn. But it's sugary, more sugary than that.
Okay.
So, I'm going to give it a 23.
I will give the finish a 22. That gets me to 84.
Oh, hell. I'm at 84 as well.
I think you're higher.
I don't think so. Because I was 19.
I had a 19 and a 21, and you had a 19
and a 21. And then I had a 17 and a 23. No, yeah, so I'm at 80.
84, 82. So we give it an 82.
Yeah.
There you go. Old Carter. You can't go wrong. Beautiful, beautiful bourbon.
Yeah, so let's talk about value. I love Old Carter, but this bottle was $217 plus tax, so it makes it like $244.
And if you're going to pick it up in Kentucky, it's going to be $300. So just so you know, in my opinion, because of you're only talking about 1,000 bottles, and the actual
and they only release like 4 times a year.
But what you got to remember is that you got somebody with a fantastic palate. They produce, like, we're giving you 84, 82. I mean, it was 84, 80, which was an 82. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that would give this 100 because it's barrel strength and it's good. I mean, it's a good overall. It might not be the best Old Carter that I've had, but some people think this is barrel strength. So they're appealing to everybody that's buying, and only 1,000 people per batch, or in one batch it was 3,000, 2,000, whatever their batches are. With that double oaked one for 14 that they put out, it was a double oak batch, and that batch had 3,000 bottles, but they sell out. So the price matches what the demand is because they're producing such good bourbon consistently. Now,
yeah, so here's the thing.
And you got to remember, they aren't distilling, they're blending. They're blending stuff they're buying. And when they're buying, they have to buy good shit to be able to come out with this. And good shit just keeps going up and up and up and up when you're buying.
Yeah.
Opposed to Beam, they're not buying shit. They're using stuff that they made when it was cheaper 8-10 years ago.
Right.
So they can produce something at 95, but they rely on a supplier to them because they're not doing their own distilling, so you're going to pay more. And that's where it comes in.
Here's my sense on value. If you can buy this,
just so you know, we're cutting this off the Tiny's 10-minute tasting. So,
okay.
Or not, I mean, the Whiskey Tiny Rapid Tasting, we're going to cut this part off. We can keep talking, though, because we're just having a goddamn blast.
If this was if this was a secondary price of $250, I think people would pay that all.
Well, the secondary
day long.
price is $330,
or even more. I've seen it as high as $400.
Right,
some of the batches.
But because it's so expensive right off the bat, and people whatever, did you walked into a store and were able to obtain it?
Well, but they only had 6 bottles, and we bought the first 3 that they sold because it was truck day.
There you go. You always are in the right place at the right time.
That we were. So I would say, I mean, here's the thing.
See, look, did you cut out?
I died.
Oh, you died. Dead. No wonder we have nobody. So Jared Britt said, have you tried Australian whiskey? I have not yet.
No, I never have.
Thank you for watching, Jared. We appreciate that.
I've drank some whiskey with Australians. I don't think that counts.
Nope. And we have a couple Australians now, part of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Thanks for watching. All right, so
anyway, value-wise, I mean, I think
you pay for it.
You pay for this quality.
Yes, you do. And they have to. So I really think they honor what's coming out of your pocketbook.
And I'm going to make a bold statement right now. I would put this on par with the Buffalo Trace antique collection.
Yeah, it's up there with that, or even a Pappy. I mean, there's some Pappies that, although we haven't had that much Pappy, but at the same time, Pappy is not barrel strength. You're talking, you got a
107.
117. You get 10 more proofs out of it, and it would be great to add a little bit of water to this. See what it would do.
This would be very similar to like a George T. Stagg. It's not William LaRue Weller for me.
William LaRue Weller. That made me cry.
I'm not gonna lie.
That was some damn good shit. But we need to obtain a bottle. We'll just split it.
We
together. I'm not. I'll pay half. You pay half. And
if we could get one at retail, I would do that all day long. But
I would even pay a little bit more for William LaRue.
The problem is the secondary, and that's $1,500, and that's just steep.
Well, all Buffalo Trace is just steep, but it's just then being at the right place at the right time again. All
I can say is Mark and Sherry, are putting out a great bottle. If you could buy it at retail, I think if you could buy it at retail and you're not a person that balks at bourbon over $50, this is one you could put in your collection. You could save for special occasions. Unfortunately, we don't have distribution to Australia, so your guys are out. Special occasions.
Hold on.
Unfortunately,
there we go. I'll take it down.
But if this was a $50 bottle I just picked up in the secondary for $240, I think I would go, Jeff, I got a bottle of Old Carter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the fact that it's on the shelf at $240 just means that Mark and Sherry are smart enough to try and get some of that money for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. They've picked out and done a good product, and I think they're priced where the quality of what their bourbon is. Good job tonight.
Yep.
Here we go. Finished up with fireworks once again. 82 for the Old Carter and the Scotchy Bourbon Boy. We're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
We are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
I'm Tiny.
I'm Whisky.
And remember, www.scotchybourbonboys.com.
You can get yourself some Glencairns with Scotchy Bourbon Boys on them. We do ship. We got T-shirts.
And
maybe more.
Hoodies coming soon.
Hoodies coming. So, yeah, we're going to have hoodies just in time for summer. And so...
well, by the time we have hoodies, it'll be the fall. So, there you go.
No, we appreciate everybody joining in and tuning in to join us here. And all those that listen in the future to the podcast as you're driving in your cars and whatnot. So
we're on all major podcast formats.
We are. You can find us everywhere. We're like termites.
And we also are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So check us out there. And remember,
good bourbon,
good times,
good friends. You can say it.
Equals good rye whiskey.
No.
And remember,
unless Jeff doesn't like it and it tastes like oniony dill pickle buttholes.
There was no onion in that, so. But anyways, and there was no buttholes. But at the same time, remember to go out there and live your life
dangerously.
Little Steve-O's going to take us out.
Show me.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
Dant Crossing, Gethsemane, Kentucky. Timeless hospitality that stirs the spirit. Dant Crossing is a one-of-a-kind destination for unforgettable weddings, memorable corporate events, day trips, and weekend getaways. The pastoral campus is anchored by Log Still Distillery and includes an amphitheater that seats 2,000, a 12-acre lake for fishing and unique lodging options, creating an immersive experience that's rooted in the community and culture of our little slice of Kentucky. More attractions will open soon at Dant Crossing, including our 21,000 square foot distillery, which we will have the ability to produce 15,000 barrels of spirit each year, a network of wooded walking trails, fully functional private train depot, farm-to-table restaurant, and the Legacy, a premier wedding and events venue. Whether you're looking to host an event, book a stay, or reserve a tasting, we're ready to welcome you. Learn more at dantcrossing.com.